Guyana's first on-grid solar farm scheduled for 2023. More than 50% of the adult population is fully vaccinated. Guyana Police Force anticipates an increase in vehicular and pedestrian traffic during the holiday season. In the region, at least 68 inmates killed in the latest Ecuador Prison clashes, and internationally, India court orders work from home over pollution in capital. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. On Sunday, November 14th, Guyana celebrated 93 years of Remembrance Day at the cenotaph, a national memorial dedicated to soldiers who lost their lives in the First and Second World Wars. During the wreath-laying ceremony to honor the sacrifices of the Guyanese men and women who died during the two world wars as they sought peace and freedom, President of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali said, Guyanese will forever be indebted to them.
On this Sunday of remembrance, we meet again to remember all those gallant men and women who gave their lives in two world wars. We are forever indebted to them for a supreme sacrifice in the cause of peace and freedom. We also recall with gratitude those who through the years have made similar personal sacrifices in a continuing struggle for human dignity, social justice, and freedom from all forms of oppression, wherever these exist. Their example strengthens our resolve to maintain our efforts for a world at peace with justice and prosperity for all peoples. On this solemn occasion, we, the citizens of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, rededicate ourselves to the search for peace everywhere and renew our commitment to the development and well-being of our beloved country.
Remembrance Sunday is commemorated on the second Sunday of November. The ceremony commenced with a military parade followed by the presidential salute. Last post, 2 minutes of silence, the sounding of the reveille, prayers, and the laying of wreaths. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces led the first wreath, followed by Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips. Guyana may soon boost its fight against climate change with the commissioning of the country's first on-grid solar farm scheduled for 2023. According to the recently released Low Carbon Development Strategy 2030, Guyana-Norway financed solar farm is expected to have a total capacity of 10 megawatts at peak sunlight, accounting for 1% of total electricity demand in the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system. Guyana Power and Light Incorporated have already advertised for consultancy services, topographic survey, flood risk assessments, and geotechnical investigations of the sites chosen for this farm, as well as 7 authors. In addition to the farms, the government plans to use solar PV modules to power the houses of 30,000 hinterland families. Solar farms are also being planned for Bartica and Letem. The Guyana Energy Agency has already invited bids for the supply and installation of transmission lines to accommodate them. These farms will be built as part of Guyana Utility Scale Solar Photovoltaic Program. The Traffic Department of the Guyana Police Force anticipates an increase in vehicular and pedestrian traffic during the upcoming holiday seasons. As such, the department plans to increase the deployment of ranks in an effort to create safer roadways for road users. This is according to Traffic Chief Ramesh Ashram during a Christmas presentation today. The Traffic Chief said the Traffic Department will be placing a special focus on driving under the influence of alcohol, speeding, overload of minibus and cars, motor vehicles cause obstruction, and soliciting passengers. Meanwhile, Commander of the Police Division 4A, Simon McBain, stated that there is always an increase in activity over the holiday seasons due to increased shopping and visitor arrivals. The season also creates an increased opportunity for crimes, fear of crimes, traffic accidents, and congestion. The commander said to create a safer environment for all, there will be increased anti-crime and traffic patrols. He said increased police activity will aid in the reduction of criminal activities, fear of crime, traffic accidents, and congestion. While the country has seen a decrease in crimes in 2021 in comparison to the same period in 2020, there has been an increase in road accidents in 2021 when compared to the same period in 2020. Stick around after the break. Police are investigating the gruesome death of a Burmese man who was beaten, bound, and dragged for 300 feet, and more than 50% of the adult population has been fully inoculated.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. During today's COVID-19 update, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony announced that Guyana has reached a critical milestone in its vaccination campaign with more than half of the adult population fully inoculated. Dr. Anthony said 51% of the adult population received both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine against the deadly virus.
We are at 51% of the adult population. So this is not the entire Guyanese population. So of the adult population, we have just achieved 51%.
While Minister Anthony applauded the achievement, he noted that some regions are still lagging in terms of vaccination. He said 51% overall was reached because of the high vaccination rate in Region 4.
So if we look at the breakdown for that, Region 1, we are at 43.2%. This is persons who have been fully vaccinated. So we are at 43.2% in Region 1, Region 2, 41.6%, Region 3 at 48.9%, Region 4 at 58.5%, Region 5 at 51.9%, Region 6 at 49.8%, Region 7 at 46.9%, Region 8 at 34.8%, Region 9 at 53.4%, and Region 10 at 22.3%. So these are persons 18 years and over who would have received both doses of their vaccines.
According to the minister, there are currently 2,412 active cases, with 55 new instances recorded in the last 24 hours.
So of these active cases, currently we have 50 persons in hospital. 32 persons are right now at the Ocean View Hospital, with 15 of them in the ICU. The others are in different regional hospitals, like 4 at Soddy Hospital, 3 at West Demerara, 2 at the Region 5 facility, 1 at Skeldon, 1 in Bartica, 2 at Madhya, and we have 4 persons in the Wisma Hospital.
To date, 76.3% of the adult population has received the first dose of the vaccine, with 51% having received both doses. In the 12 to 17 age group, 38.9% received the first dose and 26.8% received both doses. Minister Anthony is urging the general public, including adults and adolescents, to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Police are currently investigating the death of a 54-year-old man who was beaten by 2 men on Friday, November 12th at Bath Settlement on the west coast of Berbice. The dead man has been identified as Beheem Evans of number 11 squatting area, West Coast Berbice. According to investigations, the dead man's son was on his way home around 8 p.m. when he was attacked by 2 males ages 23 and 27 armed with a cutlass, rope, and chain. The men told the victim's son that his father went into one of their homes and stole his silver chain, gold chain, and several rings. They began hitting the young man about his head, face, and back, causing him injuries. The suspects subsequently went to find Evans and dealt him lashes about his face and body, asking him for the supposed stolen items. Evans denied allegations, and the suspects then wrapped him in a 1-ton rice sack and dragged him about 300 feet. They subsequently threw him on a grass carpet and told his son to take him home. The son went to the police at the Fort Wellington police station and reported the matter. Evans was picked up by the police in an unconscious condition and taken to the Fort Wellington Hospital. He succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment. His body is presently at the Fort Wellington Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. The suspects were arrested and remains in custody pending further investigation. Don't go away after the break. Cuban forces sieged government critics' home before Monday's march, and at least 68 inmates killed in latest Ecuador prison clashes. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream, located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness, or join our Becaphonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Kingdom-based taxi service, transportation for every occasion. Short drop, airport, weddings, funerals, and much more. We're located at Lot H. Durbin and Vicingen Road, next to Green City Bar. For honest, efficient, and reliable service, call Kingdom-based taxi service at 648-5959 or 227-7937. You can count on us.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Cuban security forces have surrounded a leading government critic's home to try to stop him from protesting. Authorities says he is working with the United States to destabilize the country, but demonstrators say they will carry on. Al Jazeera's Daniel Schumiller reports.
The Cuban authorities have prevented the country's most prominent opposition leader, Junior Garcia, from leaving his home in Havana for a solo protest. The operation came the day before marches planned across the country to demand greater freedoms and the release of political prisoners, a protest the government has declared illegal. Garcia said that every Cuban should have the right to demonstrate peacefully.
I think that is my greatest aspiration, that every Cuban knows they have power, a lot of power, that a single citizen can make a system tremble.
The Cuban government has organised a number of counter-demonstrations and last week called hundreds of foreign diplomats to a meeting to accuse the United States of being behind the protest. Washington's representatives in Havana were not invited. And this video aired on state television accuses Junior Garcia of working with the US authorities and anti-Cuban organisations, claims he strongly denies. The planned marches on Monday coincide with Cuba reopening its doors to foreign tourism, closed for 20 months because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Restaurant owner Carlos Marquez says the return of tourism will help the country's battered economy. He called the opposition demonstration a distraction.
I'm sure it won't happen. Sure. From the moment they started planning it, it was a crazy idea.
Tens of thousands of Cubans think otherwise. They belong to Archipelago, a movement organised on social media. It grew out of protests in July which took the authorities by surprise due to their size and spontaneity. Hundreds were arrested. Growing dissent is being expressed in other ways too. This video by musician Roberto Carcases is called No One Can Stop Me. Actor Daniel Triana fears the authorities will be better prepared to repel Monday's planned marches, and the threat of violence will keep many away. Although he said even if the protest is suppressed, the opposition movement will keep growing.
For the first time in nearly all the provinces in the country, the people have come together to cry for freedom. That's historic. Symbolically, it marks the beginning of the end.
It's a prediction made prematurely many times since Fidel Castro came to power in 1959. The difference this time is the protesters are staying in Cuba to fight for change, rather than leaving. And that's a challenge the Cuban authorities are struggling to deal with. Daniel Schweimler, Al Jazeera.
Dozens of inmates have been killed in fierce clashes in a prison in Ecuador. According to authorities, nearly 300 inmates have been killed this year in Ecuador's broken prison system, where thousands of inmates tied to drug gangs square off in violent clashes that often turn into riots. Al Jazeera's Dorsa Jabari reports.
Dozens of Ecuadorians gathered outside this prison on Saturday, waiting for any news of their family members. There was an overnight riot at the Litoral Penitentiary in the southern city of Guayaquil that began on Friday evening. Information is difficult to come by. They desperately looked through an unofficial list of victims' names that was posted outside the building.
I'm hoping that my son is one of the injured, but we don't know anything because there's no official list from the authorities, only a list that has been leaked, but we don't know anything.
Nothing is known. What the prisoners are saying from inside is that no police or military are controlling it, that they are letting them kill each other in cold blood.
Police are blaming rival gangs for the violence.
These
events are due to a territory dispute by criminal gangs inside the prison. At the moment, there are certain pavilions that are without leaders because this may be surprising to all citizens, but the leaders were released after having served 60% of their sentence.
At the same prison earlier this year, more than 100 inmates were killed in the worst incident of prison violence in recent years. Ecuador's prison system has come under the spotlight recently for overcrowding and poor sanitation and living conditions. Officials say they are accommodating about 9,000 more inmates than the prisons were designed for. The Litoral Penitentiary was built for 5,300 inmates, but it holds 8,500. In September, President Guillermo Lasso declared a 2-month state of emergency in the prison system. He's also called on the highest court to allow the military to enter prisons to stop any violence. The court responded in a statement, Ecuador's prison crisis will require more than temporary solutions. Dorsa Jabari, Al Jazeera.
And internationally, New Delhi authorities have passed emergency measures to address dangerously high pollutant levels. The city ordered schools to close and building work to be halted before India's Supreme Court shuttered offices, forcing millions of people to work from home. But experts say these efforts are not enough to solve the crisis. Al Jazeera's Pavni Matel reports.
India's capital is on red alert. Pollution in New Delhi has reached alarming levels, raising more health concerns for the population of 20 million. The government is taking drastic measures in an attempt to curb the impact it's having on people. This week, schools will revert to online classes, construction work has been banned, and government offices will go remote. The city is also considering a 2-day lockdown.
Weather forecast says winds will not blow from November 14 to 17, and the smoke from burning stubble will keep coming to Delhi. so the situation could get worse then.
New Delhi is one of the most polluted cities in the world. The air is toxic most of the year and causes more premature deaths than in any other big city in the world. The air quality has become especially bad this season as temperatures dip. The number of farm fires has risen in neighbouring states in the past few weeks. New Delhi's government has blamed those states for not doing enough to solve what is an annual problem, but has come under fire from the Supreme Court for its own ineffective policies. Emissions from vehicles, industries and garbage burning remain high, and the government's ban on firecrackers around the Hindu festival of Diwali was not fully enforced.
Delhi has always had a pollution problem. Every year we see bans on firecrackers during Diwali, but people defy these. The air quality index in most of the city is around 500.
It's a big problem. We have to wear a mask all the time so we don't fall sick. We drive all day outside in this dust. Our auto rickshaws don't have doors. The government needs to think about us.
Experts say the government needs to focus on reducing and monitoring emissions from major pollutants, including industries, cars and construction sites through the year.
We need to develop a ward, village, district, sub-district, state level emission inventory for the different sectors, like how much transportation is contributing, how much construction is contributing from that region. Then after that, we need to assign the responsibility to the people who are working on the ground for those sectors.
The government in New Delhi constructed this mock tower earlier this year after orders from the Supreme Court, but experts say measures like these are largely reactionary and ineffective given the scale of the crisis. While short-term emergency policies like lockdowns may ease the problem right now, systemic solutions will require regional cooperation and political will. Pavni Mittal, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.